I like seeing stuff.
Yeah,
like,
it's nice.
yeah. If I was watching an artist interview and they weren't like at the desk and they were like behind the mic for a minute and then like over here for like maybe the second half of like the shit, I'd be like, okay, well they're actually just like chopping it up between it feels natural.
Because then, because then it's showing you like you without the music kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's showing you like how you are.
Exactly.
You're
also
it
kind of separate. Yeah, see, I fuck with that. Kind of separates it a bit. So we could definitely do a couple there, and I think we could also do like a couple here. Which is nice.
What's your style? That's
For
my
sure.
first question. What's your style?
My style, man. So I would say it's definitely like bits and pieces. You know what I mean? So I definitely take a little bit of R&B.
Yeah.
I take a little bit of hip hop. I take a little bit of soul as well. You know, I grew up being inspired by like a lot of people, you know, with Michael Jackson, you know, your Chris Browns as well. So like vocals to me are everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nowadays we're like so fast paced, you know, hip hop and trap and everything like that. Being able to incorporate that's Jesse Jaxen. It's, you know, everything I grew up on mixed with everything that's like, you know, upbeat now. You know what I mean? Being able to blend the two and, you know, being able to adapt with the music. So that's Jesse Jaxen.
That's why I wanted this interview to have sort of like a different approach, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to be like an insightful part on like the lifestyle kind of aspect of music. So obviously music is a sound, and you listen to music for the sound, but that's not completely what attaches you to an artist. What attaches you to an artist is their lifestyle, is their persona, their charisma. So it's kind of like getting engaged on his charisma, his lifestyle.
I did hear one of your songs that I didn't know it was about you.
Crazy. Yeah, we were talking about
Caught
that.
me off guard, you know?
Yeah, 100. Which one was that?
Loveless, I do believe.
Loveless. Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Brother, I cannot believe that was, I needed the guy right here.
Thank you, my bro. Yeah, that's
in
the
the
one,
flesh.
bro. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, Loveless was dope. I recorded that like in my bedroom in Brisbane, like a year ago.
Let's talk about that in your bedroom.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. I feel like that's where most songs are. I shouldn't even be surprised. I feel like that's just most like, you know, like so many hits. Like, well, you know, not to hit, but so many songs in my bedroom.
So you got the idea from there and you brought it to life?
Yeah, man, for sure. I was just like in my room, just thinking of melodies, and it came to my head, and it was one of the ones that came together real quick. And people fucked with it. We were talking about it before. I should have promoted it more, but it's hard.
Wow.
I'm glad you like it.
I couldn't believe it for real.
Yeah, sharp, Baji. Thank you.
By you, yeah.
Plenty more coming this year.
100%
more coming.
Tell me when you start to feel it. This shit get like propane. That what happened. They say you're Jaxen, let's get it back again. Put the whole team on the boat. They're trying to captain. Keep a circle small with a moat.
There are some deep lyrics in there.
For sure.
And what is it all about?
Yeah, man. Well, shit, I tried to make it like, you know, have a bit of substance in there, a bit of story, but also, you know, make it sound pretty. You know what I mean? So I guess Loveless is about a girl. It's about a girl who's been through so much. She's been through the ups and downs, the fuckboys, all that. So it's like if you're looking for love, you don't want to go to this girl. You're not going to find it there, sort of thing. So that's the whole title with Loveless. So it's like she don't want to love no more.
Wow.
So it's basically like she's been through the ups and downs. So it's like save your time. And so I think when I'm like writing a song, I usually try and picture like, you know, like a person. And this one I was trying to picture like a girl. I was like, how would she feel? So I was like, you know, from writing from that spot, it just came easy.
You know how celebrities, you see their face, you don't see what's really going behind, you know what I'm saying?
For sure, that's your person.
I feel like that's my whole purpose is to bring in that talent and let people see the behind the scenes. And I feel like that's what I want to dive in with you a little bit over here. And talk about like obviously you do the music, but what led you to do that music?
Man.
What's the influence? What's the you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Well, man, shit. Like growing up and everything, like even still now, like I've always just like I have an idea and then I see something and I create like a skit or I create like a visual for it in my head. So I've always been creative, man. So I think like even when I'm not in the studio, I'm always thinking of like, you know, a scene for a music video or like a scene that I'll put in a music video as like an acting skit. Do you know what I mean? Or I'm thinking 100%. Of like an aesthetic. So I think for me, getting in the studio is really easy because I'm already like thinking of everything creative like outside of the
100%.
studio. Do you know what I mean? So even like just linking up with like the homie like Nick, being out and about, thinking of different like shots, you know, brainstorming like ideas. So it's like, I don't know, being a creative is just kind of like who I am, you know what I mean? I hear music, I want to think of like choreography for the next like music video.
Because when I hear a lot with artists, is that music is like their home. That's like the relax.
For sure.
Like where they relax. That's where they can be free.
Yeah, definitely.
And is that the same case with you?
For sure. Yeah, definitely, bro. Like, I was always like watching, you know, like Michael Jaxen or like tour concert videos and stuff like that growing up.
Yeah.
So when I get in the studio, like I picture myself as like little versions of those people. Do you know what I mean? So it's like when I get in the studio, I feel like like you said, it's like natural. It feels like my home. You know what I mean? And it also might be like the ADHD in me as well. You know what I mean? So I get in the studio and it's like I feel like I can just let all that creative energy out that I can't anywhere else. You know what I mean? It just feels like where I'm meant to be. You know, and sometimes, well, most of the time, I'm saying in my music things I just can't say like in day-to-day conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you kind of get like that freedom as well from that. So, you know, being able to like tell your story and everything in a way that you can't just have in a conversation. You know, and just like giving someone a piece of your work they can just like go back to, even if they don't fuck with you again. They can't get rid of that. So I think it's cool, bro, being able to like make those memories and just like share with people. So I kind of get like a high off that. You know what I mean? And like seeing every artist that I looked up to and like getting in the studio and just like trying to incorporate a little bit of them into like my next song. You know what I mean?
So where were you brought up?
I was brought up in Brisbane, bro. So Queensland for the most part. I was born in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
I came into Australia when I was about 4 years old. Yeah, but
wow.
I was brought up around like a whole different bunch of ethnicities though. From like you had the real like heavy African influence with like the Afro beats and everything. You had like the Latina influence and everything as well. So yeah, man, there was definitely like a lot of tribal like ethnic music growing up. So 100%. Always trying to like incorporate like that soul with like the vocals and everything. So yeah, man.
And did you have like that was your friend group into music like that?
Yeah, definitely, man. So even if they weren't like making like songs, they were all creative. Like we either had someone who was like wanted to jump on a camera, or we had someone who like wanted to like plan what we were gonna do for the shoot. You know, you got the man behind the scenes. You always need the man behind the scenes. So you know, and then there was me. I always wanted to perform. So we all kind of like, I don't know, knew our roles. You know what I mean? But and I think having just like a team and like being young and just finding out like what works and what doesn't. You know what I mean? Like where you fit is gangster. So yeah, but getting in a studio now just kind of fits.
100%. Yeah. No, but it is rare, in like especially like in our generation. I would say with all these kids, they don't know what they want to do. They haven't really found that passion that you have, and it is a blessing kind of thing, you know, because it's something that you can now work on.
Definitely. Rather
than you just being lost. But sometimes, of course, people that do still know what they want to do, they're still lost in this world. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But
you always find yourself.
100%. Yeah. Exactly. And when was like the first time? When was it in your head that you wanted to actually do this properly? Music. When was it?
I think it was like practically. I remember we made a music video in like 2017 to one of my first songs that I like was really proud of. Wow. And so when I make a song, I always think about it real visually. And so when we actually finally brought the visuals to life, I was like, oh shit, this is really like what I can actually turn something from my head to like, you know, have other people see it. So I think for me, I was like, if the music can only keep getting better and better, and my vision keep getting better and better, and I can share it like I can now, then it's over with. You know what I mean? So I always knew I had so many ideas. So it's like from that point where I saw it come to life, kind of like was like, okay, this is real now. Made it real to me.
Yeah. Nah, that's real, but
100%. It'd be like you too, though. Like you see your growth with your page and everything. You know.
100%.
Starting like so recently and everything as well. Like, I guess it's like what's something for you? Like what does organic growth like look like to you? I guess you know like stepping out of the music, seeing like what would organic growth look like to you? Like is it like an Insta page? Is it like your community backing you?
Yeah.
You know,
for me, I'll be real with the whole, especially with the whole podcast thing. Is for me, it's not about the views, not about the all of this. It's more about sharing the stories, because obviously, you hear about all these stories overseas, big artists coming up together. In Australia, especially in Sydney, Western Sydney, you don't really see that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like, especially if I can grow that platform, especially the same thing with Nick, what he's doing with Faucet Failure, if you can grow that platform where now you bring on all these artists, all these talent, now they can have, now people can actually know who they are.
Exactly. I definitely want people to see what I'm doing with my creativity, with my music, with my networking, how I like approach the scene, how I like approach the scene with my independence as well. Do you know what I mean? Not looking for a label or like a cosign, but really just trying to like see how many things I can master, see how like well I can build a team around me and like take over from there, man.
Talk to me about Sound Level. What is that?
Yeah, so Sound Level was a music business that me and my homie Shaba Music started up in Brisbane, and he's kept on to that for now. And bro, it's it was basically a mixing and mastering service, and we were doing like producing for everyone in Brisbane, small artists, big artists, just like basically racking up that resume.
Okay,
And, we had Marty, which is our photographer. Shout out Axe Visuals. Yeah, he's a photographer and videographer as well. He come to all the shoots, bro. Just the man, bro. Just on set, on time for everything. Creative.
Oh my bad. Oh, so give me some knowledge about that, about the whole agency in terms of like what, because me, I'm not really big on this on the music scene, but yeah, what do you guys do with that?
Yeah, so essentially, bro, it's pretty much it's a client based business. You know what I mean? So we provide a service. So we basically bring the clients in. We can take them to the studio. We mix and master their music. We record them. With the photographer and videographer on board on the team means we can get like all their visual shot for them. We can do their cover art for them as well. We can basically get everything done from the recording to actually helping them like with the distribution, putting it out from start to finish.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And we can sort out. Work with people's budgets and everything like that as we go. And so yeah, since I've been down here, I've kind of been doing my own thing. But those are the homies, man, and we started that together. And so yeah, it's much love to them, bro. But I think between you, not between you and me, but this is something that I want to do, bro. Like down here, because I think when it comes to being signed and everything, it's a bit of off topic, but when it comes to being signed, everyone knows nowadays you don't have to be. People are making hits like in their bedroom. So like, bro, there's things down here I'd like to do, man, like expanding on the sound level thing where, if we could partner up with, I don't know, there's a few people I'm talking to at the moment, if we could partner up with like Logic and like go on live and like give away like subscriptions to people who are like out here who really want to make music and just need the software for it and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like imagine like if there was like imagine if you got like 20-30 kids to like pre-save your song and like as a reward the first like 20-30 you pay for like their music subscriptions. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So it's like we were talking about before, building a community. If people feel like you're for them, you spend a couple K, get like an advance off that. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, got a lot of ideas because I'd like to just remind people that they don't need all this extra like. The more you can figure out how to do yourself, less you can pay people and outsource for, the better it is. The closer like solid you can make your team. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I kind of just want to let people know that everything like I do, everything like a lot of these people do, like y'all can do it as well. So it just starts with like we were talking about before, having the tools, and like having someone who's just like willing to be like, yeah, 100%. Like if I can do it, y'all can do it too. So
100%.
Yeah, bro. I'm excited to see where we can take this down here and like. We started the business with an idea. We like literally hammered nails in, made the booth. You know what I mean? So anyone can do that shit. You know what I mean? Anyone can make an Instagram page. So it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
So all it takes is an idea.
Exactly. All it takes is an idea and then a team to execute. And if you don't have a team, then you're your own team.
Yeah.
Team plays.
But gems for real, very crazy. Yeah. I'm about it. So what I wanted to get back at you again was, you mentioned that you were with artists. That you're in that environment with other musicians, and I did want to ask you is there any key things that you took from them that you have put into your character basically, into your music life? Yeah,
for sure. That's a good question, my bro. I would say for the most part, man, just like knowing how to like hold yourself in a studio. Do you know what I mean? And like the confidence. I think like with working with a lot of different artists, as we mentioned before, to, also like clients and things like that, to networking throughout the years. Okay. I think, man, it just really comes down to like how you carry yourself and like who you see yourself as. Do you know what I mean? So I think, man, the tips and tricks I like have is, it sounds so corny, but whoever I want to like have the confidence of, I just picture like that person. Do you know what I mean? How would they act like in the studio? How would they walk around? And then I think like, okay, what's like my little finesse? Like what's the Jesse Jaxen like finesse that like I'd put on top of that? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And so that kind of just comes out in the personality, So same with music, you ever hear a song that sounds like someone else you listen to, but it still sounds like that, or like that artist is still authentic. So I feel like I try and incorporate that in my lifestyle as well. You know what I mean? I want to be me. Take little bits as well.
Do you do music for the people or more for yourself? In terms of like, do you produce to for you to just like let everyone know what you're on about, or to basically please other people? Yeah,
that's a good one, bro. I think it's like pretty split down the middle for me. You know what I mean? Like I can't talk about it if it's not real to me, for starters. So it has to be something I'm going through or something I can relate to. And so I think the second part of that is I definitely the second part for people, because then I want them to know that I can relate to them. 100%. Do you know what I mean? Or they can relate to me. Or that like just knowing that I can create something that they can just play in their day-to-day lives. Do you know what I mean? Makes me feel like I've got something that like fits. Like I've got a gift that I can share fits. So I think for me, bro, it's yeah, just all about connecting with your audience. So for me, it definitely starts with like, okay, how does this make me feel? And then, okay, how can I get them to feel the same thing?
100%.
Yep.
Nah, brother, I'll be real with you, man. I wish you nothing but the best in this music world of yours, bro. And that's from man to man.
Thank you, bro.
Wish you the best. And yeah, man, I feel like one day it will come. Everything's gonna come to you, man. Love you, brother.
Because you walked past me and I was looking up at him like this, and I was like, I'm 6 foot though.
That first angle looked clean too. Yeah, 100%. He's like, don't worry.